Y'all have heard of the 10 stages of genocide? See, Hillary's back. She's using the soundbite purge. She's talking about purging right here before January 1st, where second-degree murder and kidnapping and a bunch of other things become non-detainable offenses. We're going to use the soundbite purge right after Biden's speech against Republicans and MAGA. Have you seen the 10 stages of genocide? Biden's speech would make up, number 6? And this purge talk would be number 7.
Christians in this country so badly want to be oppressed. They think they're victims, and they love purveying this mindset. This TikTok here is a great encapsulation of it. Here he's saying that Democratic leaders are working to commit genocide, and he's going through these steps of genocide, and we're almost there. All you have to do is accept Jesus into your heart. And look, you can believe whatever you want. I don't care. But where I take issue is this idea that American Christians are a persecuted group, because if anything, they are the most protected religious group in this country. They have the most representation in Congress. They have corporations falling over themselves to defend Christian values at the expense of marginalized groups, mind you. And we could see the Supreme Court rule yet again that a company's purported religious beliefs should exclude them from covering certain medicines, in this case treatment for HIV/AIDS. Now that is disgusting, but it's yet another sign of growing intermingling between the right and Christianity. And what they're doing is developing this Christian fascism that's sweeping over the country.
That school sign that I saw, schoolroom sign that I saw in the New York Times, the world is better because you are in it. I don't know what grade it was. I assume something like 5th grade. What a stupid message.
Hi, this is Alonzo Bowden with another Rebel HQ TYT video, and today we're talking about Dennis Prager. And Dennis Prager is upset because some elementary school had a sign that said to kids, the world is better because you're in it. Think about that. That bothers him. Telling kids that the world is better because you're in it bothers him. Imagine being so miserable, such a POS human being, that boosting the self-esteem, the feelings of self-love, the morale, whatever you want to call it, of 10-year-olds bothers you. Yeah, he said these kids are in the 5th grade. So that's about 10 years old. And at 10 years old, if somebody tells you that the world is better because you're in it, believe that, right? There's so many reasons that is true. There are so many ways that a child at that age could be hurt. You could be, honestly, not exaggerating, you could be preventing a suicide, letting a kid know that their life is important, that the world's better because they're in it. Yet somehow this bothers Prager.
Plus, it's not true. What has any 5th grader done to have made the world better because he or she is in it?
Dennis Prager's upset over this sign telling kids that the world is better because they're in it, because his father never said that to him. Well, Dennis, maybe your dad was psychic. Maybe your dad knew that once you grew up, the world wouldn't be a better place because you're in it. The world could do without you, Dennis.
So women are doing less work at home. They're doing less work at home. They're getting more angry. They're more unhappy. Divorce rates are skyrocketing, and men don't want to marry you, also because of feminist divorce laws, by the way. And women say, I don't care, I don't need a man, till they realize they're hitting that age where that window is closing. Biology is real, despite what Cosmo tells you. And here's the big thing people don't know. There was a huge anti-suffrage movement. When people talk about the good old days, where women didn't want the right to vote.
That was right-wing crybaby Steven Crowder. And he's concerned that today's women are too busy exercising their rights to do laundry and have children. And in one of Crowder's most boneheaded historical takes yet, he wants you to believe that most women didn't even want the right to vote. Strap in, because Lil Stevie's not done yet.
Men who voted were eligible for the draft. They had to pay taxes. There was bucket duty, which is mandatory voluntary firefighter service. Right. Women at that point in history, not understanding that they would get all of the benefits without any of the accountability, said, oof, we don't want to do that. When people talk about, oh, how awful the old days were and how great it is for women now, or how it's good, but we still have a long way to go. Well, you mean a long way down the slope?
Let's talk about Crowder's bad history lesson first. Passing a constitutional amendment is hard. Like, really hard. And it took a huge majority of American women and many male allies across the country decades to move our system towards giving women the right to vote. But there were some women who opposed the 19th Amendment. They're an interesting bunch. But who were those traditionalist women? According to historians, they largely came from the elite, extremely wealthy Northeast. That includes Josephine Jewel Dodge, who founded the nation's only major women-led anti-suffrage group. And it should be no surprise to find out that group was funded and boosted by some very powerful and very conservative men, including Dodge's father, the governor of Connecticut. Dodge's group claimed that voting would stress women out. It would make them ugly. It would emasculate their husbands if they disagreed over who to vote for. It would make women value their vote more than their babies. But just like Crowder's fake outrage, the anti-suffrage movement was an astroturfed effort by elites to sway working-class women, and it failed. Bigly.